Yo, what is going on, guys? SMH Super Mario Hoops back with some more hoops, and today we are hopping right back into my top 50 list in NBA history. Now today we got Kevin Durant. Many call him a snake, many call him the Durantula, but where do I have Sir KD on my all-time list? I got him ranked at number 14. Now before we hop into Durant, gonna need you guys to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also feel free to comment down below your thoughts on Kevin Durant, if maybe this is too high, too low, or just right. But without further ado, let's get into Kevin Durant. Now over the course of his career, he has been an 11-time NBA All-Star as of today, including the years from 2010 to 2019 and then also 2021. As many people know, he didn't play in 2020 because of the torn Achilles. He's also been a 9-time member of the All-NBA teams. 6 times he was All-NBA first team from 2010 to 2014 and then also 2018. And then he was second team All-NBA in 2016, 2017, and 2019. In fact, he was even the NBA's most valuable player in 2014. And in terms of championships and MVPs, he has 2 in 2017 and 2018 finals MVPs, that is. Now in terms of MVP shares, he has received votes over 9 different seasons, 6 of which he was a top 5 finisher. He actually was a 3-time runner-up of the award and a 1-time winner in 2014. Now KD was the runner-up every year from 2010 to 2013, with the exception being 2011. That was the year when Dwight Howard was the runner-up to Derrick Rose. But in the next year, in 2011-2012, many people believed that KD deserved this MVP over LeBron. And although this probably isn't likely, this is definitely the best year for a case against one of LeBron's 4 MVPs. I mean, he was more efficient, he was the league's leading scorer, he was a slightly better rebounder, and he had a better record with his Thunder than the Miami Heat that year. Of course, Durant, though, has not finished top 5 for MVP in 5 seasons now, which we can kind of explain why that is shortly. In terms of some all-time stats, 27.0 points per game, good for 5th all-time, 88.3% from the free throw line, good for 15th all-time, 61.5% true shooting, good for 10th all-time, 25.2 PER, good for 8th in NBA history, 146.7 win shares is good for 24th all-time, 104.7 offensive win shares is good for 21st in NBA history, a 6.7 BPM, 10th all-time, 6.0 offensive box plus minus, good for 4th all-time, a .217 win share per 48 rating is 12th in NBA history, and a 71.64 per rating, which is 18th of all time. Now, let's discuss Kevin Durant's playoff career. For starters, he has a 29.5 point per game average in the playoffs, and that is actually the 3rd highest in NBA playoff history, behind only Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson. But in terms of the stats as a whole, he arguably has a slight drop-off. I mean, his efficiency slides along with his produced win share impact on a nightly basis. However, this doesn't stop Durant from being a high-level scorer, as he averaged over 30 points per game in 11 of 29 playoff series, 25 points per game in 26 of 29 playoff series, and 20 points per game in 28 of 29 playoff series. The only one where he didn't was the 2019 NBA Finals, and as most of us know, Durant came back in Game 5 and only played about 1 quarter's worth before tearing his Achilles. He did have 11 points in 12 minutes, so I think it's fair to say that if he didn't get hurt, I mean, you would have probably seen him do it again. And actually, he has averaged over 5 rebounds per game for every series except that 2019 Raptors Finals as well. Now let's break down some key moments for Kevin Durant in the playoffs. Now, he showed out in both 2010 and 2011, but he was defeated by a more experienced Lakers team led by Kobe and a Mavericks team led by Dirk, both of which went on to win the championship. But after a great series against the Spurs in 2012, this pushed Durant and OKC to their first NBA Finals. And although OKC lost this series to the Big 3 Heat, Durant arguably was the best player in this series despite not being the Finals MVP. He averaged 30.6 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, 1.4 steals, a block on 55, 39, 84 splits, and 65% true shooting, which is plus 12.3 over the real true shooting for that season. Durant was still great individually in 2013 and 2014, but the first of those 2 years is when Westbrook got hurt hurt, while OKC had the 1 seed in the West, and then they ended up falling to Memphis. In 2014, OKC was the 2nd seed, and Durant was even the league MVP, but San Antonio was just such a well-rounded team that year that nobody could really beat them. However, it seemed like 2015 would be the year for KD. I mean, the Spurs weren't the same. LeBron left Miami to form a new Big Three in Cleveland. The Pacers lost Paul George to an injury. The Bulls had a lot of mixed personalities added together. And the Thunder, they were already together. But then KD suffered a Jones fracture and missed most of the season, as OKC even missed the playoffs while the Warriors won the championship. And they faced them again in 2016, and as we know, OKC blew a 3-1 lead before the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead to Cleveland in the finals. And then ultimately, Durant was done with OKC, with Westbrook, and was tired of moving on with them, and so he joined the Warriors in what is one of the weakest moves in NBA history. And after winning in 2017 and 2018, people still discount their rings to this day. And I mean, yeah, they count, but I agree that they don't hold as much value even together as, say, Dirk's in 2011 or Jordan's in 1991 or something like that. But it has kind of gone too far with people saying that Durant needed the Warriors. Because in 2015, if we do remember, not only did Golden State face a key injury every round, but they were 1 game away from their title having significantly less meaning. Behind Westbrook, OKC went 45-37 in the 2015 season, which is the same as the New Orleans Pelicans, but a wild AD double clutch 3-point shot from near half court is what decided the tiebreaker. But if OKC won maybe just that game or just one more game that year, then they would have been the 8th seed. And imagine what people would have said then if the Warriors' path to a title consisted of an injured KD, Kyrie, Kevin Love, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, and Dwight Howard. And I mean, Drew Holiday was already injured in the New Orleans series, but it seems like nobody remembers Durant's 2015 injury. And why do I think OKC had a great shot that year? I mean, KD was coming off an all-time great MVP season. In fact, his MVP was probably better than Curry's first one. Now, the 2016 unanimous MVP, that's a different argument, but when we're focusing on 2014 to 2015, I think Durant's MVP was better than Curry's first, and he was probably only going to get better. And with the experience of 3 conference finals appearances and 1 NBA finals appearance, and with Golden State already being down 2-1 to Memphis and Cleveland in that same run, if KD was healthy, I'm confident that they would have beat them. And then imagine if he did so as an 8 seed and what we're saying. The Thunder beat them, then they likely go to the finals. Then they play an injured Cavs, they likely beat them. The only 8 seed champion ever is what they would be, and then who needs who? Because if Durant did team up with the Warriors after that, it's going to look a lot like a cry for help. I mean, nobody ever addressed this though. And in 2017 and 2018, Durant was the best player. He was by far the deserving finals MVP. I can never understand Curry fans who say otherwise. And in the 2019 NBA playoffs, he was playing amazing until he got hurt. It's kind of funny because in the 2019 playoffs, KD was one of the 2 best players that postseason before he got hurt, and the other one was Kawhi. Now in 2021, Kawhi was one of the 2 best players in this postseason before he got hurt. The other one was KD. This is why I say that these 2 win 100% are the best players in the game today. Not all time for active players, that's obviously LeBron. But in the game right now, win 100%, it's those 2 and the rest follow. If you think KD has something to prove left in the NBA, then basically everyone besides LeBron does, and arguably Kawhi, but it's just not a good look. He was great this past year when he was available, and I know he's still going to be for several more years. So when it comes to Kevin Durant, I would say he is properly rated. Weird, right? I just spent like 3 minutes ranting about how people say KD needs Curry in the Warriors and just how crazy that is. I also didn't even mention the 2019 NBA Finals when those same Warriors fans will say we would have won if we had Kevin Durant, and then turn around and say that he needed those guys after being the 2-time Finals MVP with them as well. Durant's a top 5 scorer of all time and arguably the most unguardable player in NBA history, being a 7-footer that can shoot, score, handle the ball, play make. But he's properly rated because even though he did make a weak move and gets tons of criticism for it, I still see people put him top 15. I mean, can you imagine where he would be placed if he never joined the Warriors? And that's regardless on if he had ever won a ring up to this point. I think his weak move was actually right in bringing people a little bit more to reality of his ranking, but even though that might be the case, he gets way too much criticism. It's in the past, he's literally on a new new team now. Sure, maybe the Nets are a new super team and it's ruining the league in your opinion, but if you believe that, then the odds are that you're either a Laker fan or a LeBron fan, and then my response to you is that look in the mirror. The real ones that should be complaining is the other 28 teams. Alright, I'm a Bulls fan. We arguably had the best offseason on paper this year in terms of improvement, and now none of that seems to matter because two teams are trying to win the 2013 championship in 2021, boosting marketability and publicity. And if there are some legit Laker or Nets fans that even hate the fact that they are on a super team train, then that's mad impressive. But in conclusion, Durant in 2021 is not the big villain, or at least not the only one. So I think the criticism for him should chill out for a bit now. But I think that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, let me know what you think about Kevin Durant. I think he's just been getting a little bit too much criticism as of late. He's not the only one on the super team right now. You could criticize like 4 or 5 other superstars at this point. But I think I'm just going to end this video here before it gets too long. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. And I think that's going to do it for me. So I'm out. Peace.